So, the New York Times has a new article about the UAP phenomenon. Last time, they broke the world open. The world changed because of the last reporting by the New York Times on the UFO topic. In fact, I think they've done a couple of them. But the original one, I think in 2017, or was it late 2016? Correct me if I'm wrong. Totally changed the world. So what are we to expect from this brand new article that some of us have been waiting for? Well, let's dive in. Before I get too far, this is Cosmic Road, where I discuss UFOs in the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, and share on social media. That would be super helpful. And as I'm going through this story, please comment below and let me know what you think. Okay, from the New York Times, October 28th, 2022. Many military UFO reports are just foreign spying or airborne trash. It's all drones or trash, nothing to see here. Forget space aliens or hypersonic technology. Classified assessments show that many episodes have ordinary explanations. Well, I mean, of course they do, but we're talking many episodes. Many others don't. Washington, government officials believe that surveillance operations by foreign powers and weather balloons or other airborne clutter explain most recent incidents of unidentified aerial phenomenon. Government speak for UFOs, as well as many episodes in past years. The sightings have puzzled the Pentagon and intelligence agencies for years, fueling theories about visiting space aliens and spying by a hostile nation using advanced technology. But government officials say many of the incidents have far more ordinary explanations. Intelligence agencies are set to deliver a classified document to Congress by Monday, updating a report made public last year that said nearly all of the incidents remain unexplained. The original document looked at 144 incidents between 2004 and 2021 that were reported by U.S. government sources, mostly American military personnel. This article is based on interviews with American officials familiar with the findings of the Pentagon and intelligence agencies' examination of the incidents. The officials spoke on the condition of anonymity, I can't say that damn word, to discuss the classified work. Some of the incidents have been formally attributed to Chinese surveillance with relatively ordinary drone technology, and others are also thought to be connected to Beijing. China, which has stolen plans for advanced fighter planes, wants to learn more about how the United States trains its military pilots, according to American officials. It's all Chinese drones, man. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to see here. Much of the information about the unidentified phenomenon remains classified. While Congress has been briefed on some of the conclusions about foreign surveillance, Pentagon officials have kept most of the work secret, in large measure because they do not want China or other countries to know that their efforts to spy on the American military were detected. Well, I mean, they're blaming incidents like the Green Pyramids on Chinese drones. They were flying directly over a U.S. battle group, making no bones about it. I don't think they were worried about being detected, whatever they were. So that explanation, just on the face of it, makes no sense. But such official secrecy comes at a cost, allowing conspiracy theories about government lies to thrive unchecked. It's all conspiracy theories, man. That's what it is. Sue Go, a Defense Department spokeswoman, said the Pentagon remains committed to principles of openness, but must balance that with its obligation to protect sensitive information, sources, and methods. While the Pentagon will not rush to conclusions in our analysis, Ms. Go said, no single explanation addresses the majority of unidentified aerial phenomenon reports. We are collecting as much data as we can, following the data where it leads, and will share our findings whenever possible. Oh, well, I'm at ease now that Mrs. Go, who denounced Lou Elizondo, says that they're going to share when it's possible. So, good. It is not clear how much of the new intelligence report would be made public, but of the cases that have been resolved, most have proved to be either errant junk in the sky, like balloons, or surveillance activity, officials say. Incidents recorded in the past year for which more data has been collected have turned out to have ordinary earthbound explanations. Now here it says incidents. So, I mean, there could be two incidents that have earthbound explanations. But, let's say 90% of it can be explained, by mundane means. That means 10% cannot. But I think it's probably higher than that. But whatever. Officially, many of the older incidents are still unexplained, and there is just too little data for Pentagon or intelligence officials to make final conclusions. Well, but they're throwing this out there, aren't they? They're throwing out the idea that it's junk or drones. So they're saying, oh, well, we can't come to a final conclusion, but it's probably drones. In many cases, observed phenomena are classified as unidentified simply because sensors were not able to collect enough information to make a positive attribution. We are working to mitigate these shortfalls for the future and to ensure we have sufficient data for our analysis. Other officials insist that even though the evidence is imperfect, the grainy videos do not show space aliens. Okay. Optical illusions, along with the characteristics of classified sensors, have caused ordinary objects, like drones or balloons, to appear to be something unusual or frightening. In May, the Pentagon announced that previously released images of green triangles that looked like they could be alien ships were actually drones, photographed through night vision lenses. Well, the article has just contradicted itself. It said that, the Chinese drones were worried about being detected, and here they're saying they flew right over an aircraft carrier and then blaming it on that. So even in this one article, there's no internal consistency. But as John Greenwald himself has said, and he's kind of, a pseudo-skeptic in some of this. He has commented on, in the past, the New York Times has said completely different things. Here, I'll just go to that right now. Here we go. John Greenwald Jr. Mr. Barnes, the New York Times previously reported about off-world vehicles not made on this Earth, but I note your dismissal of that today and no reference to this past article. May I ask your thoughts on the previous claims? This is John Greenwald saying, may I ask your thoughts on the previous claims made by the New York Times in that source? In July 2020, the New York Times printed that Eric Davis gave classified briefings about off-world vehicles not made on this Earth. Today, the New York Times reported that there is no evidence of aliens and that many cases are explainable. They do not reference their own past reporting. Why? So as much as I disagree with John Greenwald at times, he is bang on this issue. The New York Times has, in the past, openly addressed the idea and the evidence for off-world vehicles, actual alien vehicles. But in this new article written by someone else, clearly an establishment, narrative supporter, they are blaming junk and drones. Okay, going back to the article. Many military officials declined to say precisely when or where the images were taken, but they believe the incidents are examples of attempts to conduct surveillance on military maneuvers. UFO skeptics and experts in optics have long said many of the videos and sightings by naval aviators represent optical illusions that have made ordinary objects appear to move faster than possible. In other words, they've gone full Mick West. Military officials have largely come to the same conclusion. Besides the images of the green triangles, the other recordings released by the Pentagon have not been categorized as surveillance incidents, at least so far. But Pentagon officials do not believe that any of them represent aliens either. One of the videos, referred to as Go Fast, appears to show an object moving at immense speed, but an analysis by the military says that is an illusion created by the angle of observation against water. According to Pentagon calculations, the object is moving only about 30 miles per hour. So that's complete Mick West. They're basically, this could have been written by Mick West. Another video, known as Gimbal, shows an object that appears to be turning or spinning. Military officials now believe that it is the optics of the classified image sensor designed to help target weapons make the object appear like it is moving in a strange way. So when the craft goes like that, that is a result of these sensors. It's not actually doing that. Oh no. No, it's because of the sensors. Military analysts remain puzzled by the third video, known as FLIR 1. The object captured in the 2004 video appears to hover over the water, jump erratically, and then peel away. Military officials say that event is more difficult to explain, but officials who have studied it are convinced it is not a piece of alien technology. Nevertheless, efforts by the Pentagon or intelligence officials to stamp out theories about aliens have largely failed. The Pentagon has formed and then reformed groups inside the department to improve data collection around the incidents and provide better explanations. Military officials have repeatedly said there is no evidence that any of the images show space alien visitors. Comments often played down in the news media or ignored by lawmakers. In May, Pentagon officials testified under oath that the government had not collected materials from any alien landing on Earth. But the testimony did little to dampen enthusiasm for theories about extraterrestrial visitors. Publicly, military and intelligence officials have been reluctant to offer alternative theories, in part because they lack complete information, like in the case of the 3 videos, or because they do not want to reveal what they know about the surveillance for fear China or other countries could learn to better hide their activities. Again, this article doesn't even have any internal consistency. It's blaming the glowing green pyramids on Chinese drones, but also saying they're trying to hide their activities. They were flying over the U.S. battle group openly, multiple of them. And by the way, we're not just dealing with that, that picture or limited amount of video. There's also radar data from that incident that show those objects blinking in and out of existence. So yeah, those aren't drones. Those are things behaving in a way that our understanding of physics does not allow for. So this explanation, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to continue reading this article, honestly. It's just, it is completely, it is the establishment narrative trying to, clamp down on this issue. Possibly this is coming out of the new program, and this is exactly what I would expect out of Bray and Moultrie. I don't know if they are leading this effort or they have assigned somebody else to do this, but whoever is doing that is probably continuing whatever directive they were given. For example, when they said they had never even heard of the Admiral Wilson leak. And then they dismissed everything else as drones and, like the glowing green pyramids. And the only video that they would say that they showed that they said was unexplained was some of the weakest footage ever imagined. So this is continuing that. This is continuing. If this information is coming from the new program, if this is leaked stuff or a directive from the new program, then that does not bode well for the direction or the honesty of the new program. It also doesn't address some of the videos that have been confirmed by the Pentagon. If they want to dismiss the green pyramids as Chinese drones, while also saying that Chinese drones are trying to avoid detection, which obviously makes no sense. But there are several other videos that have been confirmed by the Pentagon, some released by Homeland Security. I'm thinking about one, a UFO that went into the ocean, into the water, and then seemed to split in two and become two. How does that fit in with any of these, debunkings? There's another one of a UFO hovering in midair, expelling gas, expelling some sort of vapor, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. since these things don't seem to be powered by propulsion, and indeed it wasn't using that vapor for propulsion. But they don't talk about that. They only talk about the Mick level debunkings and whatever narrative or directive Bray and Moultrie were given. This article is simply repeating that line. We're expecting to hear about the new UFO report given to Congress in a few days, and that could drop any day. And this article is surely getting out ahead of that, and I would be very surprised if it wasn't confirming their findings and getting the public prepared for what the report will say. In other words, they're going to blame it all on drones and airborne junk. They're going to leave the possibility open that there are unexplainable things going on, but in large part, they're going to try to dismiss the whole phenomenon. In other words, this article is simply more government propaganda continuing the lie and the suppression of evidence and information related to the UFO/UAP topic that has gone on for many decades. Julian Barnes, who wrote the article, is simply perpetuating that lie. I'm not surprised by this, but I am very disappointed after, the New York Times has come out so strongly disclosing this stuff to the point where it has caused a grassroots revolution on this issue and red-pilled many people, myself included. Now they resort to Mick level debunkings. This is ridiculous. This is a scandal. This is brainwashing. This is propaganda. This is, we're being blue booked. This is ridiculous. I really had expected better of the New York Times, but it's also important to remember that the New York Times is not a monolithic entity, that there are various, reporters and agendas involved in the New York Times. Some of them are pro-disclosure and pro-truth, and some are going to parrot the party line, like Julian Barnes. It will be interesting to see what Leslie Kean has to say about this. Will she speak out against a fellow writer of the New York Times? I don't know. In any case, my excitement for the new UAP report delivered to Congress has now dropped to next to nothing. But what about you? Are you still looking forward to the UFO report? What do you think is going to be in it? Do you think we're going to get some real information? Is the good stuff actually going to be shared with the public, or is it all going to be behind closed doors? Is it going to continue this Mick level of debunking displayed in this article, or are we going to get something more out of it? Let me know in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. That'd be awesome. Please hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. There's social media links below, Facebook and Twitter. It'd be awesome if you would follow me on those platforms. And when I drop a video, if you could share it, that would be super awesome. Until next time, Cosmic Road out.